Hello guys, I hope that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Today I am doing a speed build because if I was to do this build in real time, it would have been an hour and like 30 something minutes. Ridiculously long. So that is why I also could not figure out a topic to talk about for that long. Well, I probably could have been. So right now, this is my son is just aged up into a teen. So he's the eldest of like 6 or 7. And I think that there's 2 more on the way at the moment. So a big old family. And the last video that you guys saw, I was making the house to kind of set them up for that transition period because I think I'm gonna kill off the dad once the kids get a little bit older. That's the ideal plan. So there's that. Also, before we start getting into that, look at this cute mug. I absolutely love it. Is it hand washable? Absolutely. I got it at Marshall's. This is adorable and I love mugs. I love collecting mugs. There is never a lot of time to get a mug. I love mugs so much. I love nails so much. Love, love, love nails. Um, Especially the ones where the nail glue is in the bottom of the box, not on the nail themselves. I used to like impresses, but they collect so much bacteria underneath. The only way that I can think of not having bacteria collect underneath is by painting the underside. One moment.
Right, so I was talking about how you should paint the back of the nails. The glue itself, before you put on the nail, like you paint the glue with glue, you put it on your fingernail. After you put glue on your nail, you're gonna have to hold it down there for a minute, like press that on. And you're not gonna glop the glue on, like a very thin coat of glue, or else it's gonna stay wet and mold on your fingernail. You can cure it with a blue light, but sometimes it doesn't cure all the way and it'll actually cause these bubbles underneath the nail. So your best thing to do is push it and like pull up on your nail multiple times. Um, if I have any more index nails that I want to wear, I'll probably post like a YouTube short or something just to show you guys how I do it. And then what I do is afterwards I'll push my nail underneath and I'll paint it with this nail glue that I have that's like a nail paintbrush. And I'll go underneath and I'll keep painting underneath it, making sure that I'm not getting on top of this, um, on top of like the actual nail itself. Um, but I don't know, it's very cute. Also, this school is very much so set up like the normal Copperdale High. I didn't want to change it too much. I mostly was making it smaller, adding more seating because once we start like aging up into different sims, I feel like that I'm getting so many teens now, the more generations that goes on, and there's never enough room for all of them in the high school. Either that or some of them don't go to the high school. And it says that they're going to school, and I'm trying to like encourage families to live in my Sims town. So that's that. I tried to make this more of like an aesthetically pleasing school that's not massive, that's pretty filled in. Um, and it's just called like it's literally like Copperdale High. I think I left the name the same when I uploaded it, just in case someone wants to download it. It is underneath Wicket Thread in the gallery. That was my brother's old EA name before I got the EA account. He was very kind and bought me The Sims when you still had to buy it. So there's that. I made the principal's office kind of have like these bricks because I'm also semi-basing this off of my high school. It's a very low income high school, but it started getting renovated as I left. I don't know why all the cool stuff's happening when I leave. So that stinks because I was a part of my school's construction trades. So whatever. Anyway, one of the rooms I kind of made more into like an art room. The other ones were like a science and math based room. So I was thinking the others like art and literacy. And I tried putting down these desks to do like double wide desks. Unfortunately, I would have to put down a ton of dining tables and I needed to put down like a certain number of desks. So I didn't, which is fine. Like, it's not the biggest deal to me. Also, sorry if I keep drinking this. I'm exhausted. Um, I don't know why I'm exhausted, but I am. So I'm making sure that not everything's matchy-matchy, because at least in my experience in high school, the teachers were the ones who arranged the desks as they pleased. Obviously their desks were still the same color. I didn't follow that. This is the Sims. I don't care. Um, so I was just trying to make one more like fun, light, pink, because I also did this. This is the classroom that I'm usually stuck in, on the right side of the classroom. I don't think I ever have a sim who is in the other classroom. And I also put the whiteboard in the back in the seats in the front because my sim is never to class on time. So I also think I made the school building a little bit too far back, but it's it's far back in the first place. Um, I made sure there's no basement or top floor that your sim wanted to go to, making them late to class or exams. I made sure this was a very main floor type of school building, and I didn't want to make it massive. Um, just because I didn't want your sim to be late to class. So there is that. I just added more desks. I didn't add more classrooms because um I did try and add an extra classroom into my Sims game before, and the entire thing glitched out. Um, there was too many whiteboards, which means that there was not enough teachers assigned, and kids were sitting in these classrooms not learning anything, and they were counted as late to class. It was a weird glitch. Also, there's this glitch in The Sims with the megaphones, which you'll see in a bit because I struggle to save my game. Um, the megaphones, they have to be the color white. They cannot be the color black. The white one is the only one that counts as like a megaphone. So there's that. Also, there's only a certain type of locker. So like the double wide lockers is the only one that counts as a locker. So you're gonna see like this weird texture thing that's going on. When you play in game, you will see the lockers. But I also added other lockers later on, which you'll see. I was trying to add like carpets, trying to make everything cozy. And just I was trying to make this a very comfortable school, and I kind of went through a few ideas, but I was also trying to keep this like Copperdale. Like I wanted to make it still the same school building, similar layout. So maybe you don't want to try and figure out where everything is. Everything's basically the same. I was trying to, 'cause what's more annoying than trying to figure out, well, where's the computer room? Where's the workout room? Where's the chess tables? You know, that's also why it's all main floor, but I didn't want to make it super duper wide. And I'm going to keep justifying this because I know some people are like, well, why did it take you an hour and 34 minutes basically to finish up the school? Because it's massive. This is still massive. This is like two big bedrooms in The Sims for each room, which it's ridiculous. It's massive. I did put up posters for the art room teacher. Again, art English. I feel like she would hang up her students' work, so that was kind of like my general consensus and idea. Um, and so I had like a lot of ideas that I was going off of. I also was basing this off of a teacher's room that I had seen previously. Obviously, it's not pink, but she was very kind. It's kind of a mixture of two teachers, I should say. They were very kind. They hung up their students' artwork a lot, and they're very encouraging to the art. Um, Granted, they were English teachers, so that goes hand in hand. They really were just kind people in general. Um, they were probably some of my more favorite English teachers that I've ever had, and they were vibe. They were. Just saying. Um, as you guys can see, the front's still pretty similar. I think I raised it up too high. I don't like how high the school is raised, but also at the same time, I want to be able to put down bushes and stuff without it clipping because I wouldn't have noticed if it would clip. I don't notice it when it clips inside the houses, so I don't trust myself not to notice it inside of a school. Um, these two teachers, I feel like would be best friends. I don't think that they'd be enemies. I feel like that they'd be besties, hang out after school hours, kind of talk about the funny things that their students did. You know, kind of like parents when the kids go to bed, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you what Samantha said today," or something. Like she was so adorable. Um, I did do the two separate bathroom type thing, boy and girl bathroom, so blue and pink. I know it's like a traditional color. Um, I wasn't going for traditional, but then I was like, whatever, we're just gonna embrace it. Um, I wanted to put the two bathrooms side by side and kind of do like a mini hallway, kind of like my high school. Wasn't gonna work out that way because I wanted to fill in this front area so badly while keeping everything centered. But I was like, screw it. I didn't want to have to fill in the massive blank space, and this was like a good way to combat that. Because now look at all this. I wanted to add like a trophy case and all these things. I wasn't able to find it, but you guys will see that either later on or here soon. Like I'm digging to find a trophy case. I don't know where it is. I don't know how to look it up. Like I did try and type trophy. I realized I don't know how to spell the word trophy. Um, that's a little embarrassing to admit at 19 years old, but it's okay. It's okay. I made the mirrors really wide. Made the lighting very nice in the bathroom. Um, I wish in high school my lighting was nice because there was a few times I wore some tops that would see through and I didn't realize that they would see through. Until one of my friends like would flash flashlight on my shirt. Very embarrassing and having to ask someone for their jacket, anyone. Um, but yeah. So I put on these LED lights. I thought that they make a good strip. So they do. I think that they look amazing. I feel like that the lighting looks good. Actually, in my swim class, the lighting was pristine. Like I didn't realize it was beautiful. I loved it. Um, but anyway, I personally find that it's easier just to have my sons stay in school as long as physically possible because having them travel home, then they get tired. Now, I did add some spots where your son can sleep in the morning, maybe want a nap or something. I wanted to add a bed area, but then I was like, I don't want to add a whole nother room just for a bed, because that wouldn't make sense logically in a school. So I scrapped that idea. I went through many ideas in my head. Again, it was late. I was also trying to do stuff in my school, Copperdale. I was trying to like combine the best of both worlds. So, and now you guys are gonna see that I'm going through the texture issue. Um, see, but when you play in game, you can see the texture. So, I mean, you can see the walker. It just doesn't look like that at the moment. So I do apologize. It's doing this glitch. I don't know if this has been a glitch in high school years for a long time. I don't really build commercial building often. So here is that. I picked out some pretty bougie doors, guys. I was like, this school will be rich, 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 rich. I want to do their auditorium sometime, but my big thing is you have to leave the auditorium empty because they change it for different events. So I don't think I'll ever change the auditorium or at least post the auditorium. It's not really worth it in my opinion. Um, which is fine. I don't usually use the auditorium besides prom night. That is it. And even then, I don't play prom very often. It's not my thing. So I was going through the idea, should I do a rec center? Should I do a rec room? Should I do gym rooms? Should I do like an art studio slash music studio and then a chess and computer area and then a workout area? And it was very difficult for me to decide because this room was so wide and I wasn't making third classroom. So I did have to go through a couple ideas. I probably should have added just another room. Um, I regret not doing that now, but I wanted to keep like your logic building area the same or your art because it's annoying to have to go downstairs for one thing and then go upstairs for another. Like I do appreciate in Copperdale when they have the stairs with your computer, your chess, and your workout room. Very, very nice. So I was trying to keep that similar idea going on. But then I was like, I also want to add in maybe your sim is a music type of person, and I was trying to think multiple different things. And I feel like this is going to be a really, really cozy room. And then I realized I forgot about this carpet, and I remembered that I had this really nice, uh, dark carpet, some beautiful stuff. I think it's really pretty. I should have turned the library into a library slash computer room. I thought about it, and I was like, no. That's how it used to be when I was younger at a different school that I went to. I went to a lot of schools as a kid, by the way. I never stayed in the same school district. Um, I think I stayed in one for 5 years, and then and then another one for 4 years. I moved around a lot though as a kid, military family and all that. And then also my mom met my stepdad. So there's that. I wanted to make a cafeteria a little bit bigger because I just feel like that there's never enough seating. So I was trying to figure out how to make this comfy. Also, I dislike, I do not mean to be nitpicky. I strongly dislike the flooring options that they give us in high school years. I think that they are chaotic, sporadic. Like my eyes are floor, floor, floor. Not the biggest fan, but I don't hate them. And then I decided to for the cafeteria to give some outdoor seating. The schools that I've gone to, there's always at least been one or two options for outdoor seating. So I wanted to do like this balcony type area because if I was to do seating downstairs, I feel like take forever to order and then sit down and it would just be this whole process. So I was trying to avoid a whole process. I was given 3 seats per table and I was just going off of the color that was for the teacher. So there is that. Um, I think I really like how this school turned out. For it being such a big lot, I did do a pretty small school for being such a big lot, but I don't like the massive school that Copperdale is. I don't think it's horrendous. I don't think it's hideous. Nothing like that. No, no, no. Um, it's just so big that my sim's late to everything. So I was trying to make everything smaller and make sense, and it just made more sense this way to make the classrooms. I think the classrooms are still pretty similar size to Copperdale, but like the hallways are smaller, the principal's office is smaller. The courtyards are larger though, I will say that. The classrooms are more decorated because I feel like the classrooms in The Sims are very plain, um, which it is how some schools are, but at least in the schools that I've gone to, the teachers have had like say over their creativity and how the room's gonna look. So I wanted to kind of enable that here. And usually they would just put up posters, stuff regarding their subjects or students' artwork if they so please. Memes. I had a teacher who put up memes on the wall, um, and he'd print them. It was adorable. He went, oh, one of my students sent me this funny meme, so I had to print it out so that way we could all laugh at it together. He was a little bit older. He wasn't super old, like I should say he was in his mid to late 50s. So not like super duper old, it's not like ancient. Um, I had a great great grandma who passed when she was 98, lived a very, very long time. And she'd always tell us, now you're never old until you're my age. And so I try to refer to people as older, not old. When I was younger, I'd be like, oh, that person is in their 30s. Oh my gosh, they're ancient. Because my grandparents were young grandparents, and my mother was a younger mother. So it them being in their 40s, I was very confused when my friends would say, "Oh yeah, my grandparents are in their 60s," and I went, "My great grandma's in her 60s. What are you talking about?" And I didn't realize that my great great grandma Betty was so so much older. Like she had almost lived 100 years, which actually in America they give out this pin that says like, "Oh, you lived 100 years." I mean this gold medal. And I'm not sure if it's real gold or if it's fool's gold, but it's this medal that says like you've lived 100 years, like yada yada yada. And my great grandma Betty still got her, even though she had passed away 2 years prior, and they had submitted her death certificate and everything to the state. I think though, it was actually really sweet because I was there when the rest of the family got it. It almost felt like a gift because great like she would always talk about wanting it and be like, "This is the whole reason why I'm holding out." I think that she was um that's my personal opinion. She was a baddie, or she was. Um but I don't know, it was really sweet, and although it was someone's mistake, I hope that that person didn't get in trouble. I really do. It was a really nice gift. They keep it in this little box that has velvet lining across it. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous box. And it was like a little last gift that, although she was never able to see us, our family was able to see it. It was really, really nice. Um, so thank you for whoever did that. Um, it was really, really good because it was around her birthday when it happened. I think it was 3 days after her birthday is when we got it delivered in the mail. It was, whew, there were some tears shed that day. Uh, anyway, so this is what I was talking about before, is it's chaotic, but it's like a good chaotic. For the classrooms, I didn't want to leave that like all around the school building, so I did put out a different floor tile that was still tile, but not overwhelming. Um, And maybe Copperdale does have the floor tile, and I've never noticed it, but during build mode with all the grid lines, it was really overwhelming for me to see. So I even looked up like high schools in the gallery, and you guys are seeing me view all these high schools because I'm seeing like what flooring did they use? Like, should I use that type of flooring? And I actually do this a lot in my builds if I need to figure out like what matches or what's popular even. Um, and so I'm going through all of these buildings and I was trying to figure out like what flooring doing what, and none of them really resonated with me. And so I was sitting there like, do I just put down concrete? Well, that kind of looks boring, looks flat. But then that's too overwhelming with the wallpaper that I had. And then I found this gorgeous tile, and I really hope that I don't change it yet. So I got that tile. Um, I thought it was really pretty. Did it match? Not really. I wish that there was tile that came from the wall to the floor. I feel like that would have been really nice. But oh well. The school that I went to, we had like bricks that were painted basically on the walls, and that was about it. It wasn't anything too fancy, but public school, you know. And then I was trying to figure out how to decorate the cafeteria because if you guys don't know, high schoolers do in fact like it when there's like funky, we'll say funky stuff or stuff that people think is childish. High schoolers actually dig it, and not a lot of people know that. It was interesting to hear because when I told the teacher, oh, I like XYZ, and my teacher was, high schoolers like that? And I was like, high schoolers love those things. What are you talking about? And he was very Baptist. I've never known a high schooler to like anything like that. And I was like, absolutely. We like My Little Pony. I know so many friends that dig My Little Pony still, and we're in college now. And they're like, yes, let's go. High schoolers may just be a little bit shy to tell you. That's all. I did add in these lights because they felt very school-like. And then for the teachers' rooms, like for the rooms themselves, I gave them more interesting lights. I felt like the teacher would be like, we're gonna have this one. And so, I don't know, I thought it was cute. I wanted to give each room just a little bit of personality. Um, and each area of the school a little bit of personality. So although the principal's office looks boring, I think it still has enough personality. Like the principal seems strict, but they're very proud of their academic achievements and the school itself. So there's that. Um, I did add a plant in the art and literacy teacher's room. I don't know, it felt right. And then I added for the science teacher, I feel like he would be the sports coach. He would be all these things. I don't know why I'm saying he. It really doesn't matter. I think The Sims randomly assigns a female teacher and a male teacher. I do wish, this is one thing that I dislike about high school years, is that you cannot be a high school teacher. Why? I don't know what pack that comes with, for you to become a teacher. I think it's like university or something. It would make so much sense to become a high school teacher in high school years. That's my personal opinion. I know that you have to be like educated for that, but don't you have to be educated to be a scientist too? Just saying. I don't know. I wish that there was teachers in high school years. And that's actually one of the reasons why I want to buy university so bad. I'm waiting for a sale. I just missed one of the sales, if I'm correct. So I'm waiting for the Black Friday one because I want it so bad. And luckily, I just paid off my first payment for one of my classes that I'm taking right now. So we got that going. Very, very excited. I did put some like artwork in the skill building rooms. I wanted to make sure that there was personality, almost like that it was kid run, basically, like high schooler run. So I made sure to do that. I did put runners. Listen, I'm a sucker for runners. And I also just felt like that um the hallway needed to be taken up. It felt right. At this point in time, I was getting done. I was like, this is annoying. And I think in real time I still had like I keep saying like, pardon me. I think I had around 30 minutes left of building. Maybe only 20. I think it was around 20. Um, I was done. I was done. I knew that I had to do all this landscaping because this looks empty. So I was figuring out ways to landscape without doing crazy landscaping, while making some that makes sense while taking up room. So that was definitely an interesting challenge. And I was trying to remember what Copperdale did, and I don't remember if I looked at the schools again or not, at high school gallery. I thought that a lot of them were cool. They were just massive, which is great if you have a lot of Sims, truly it is. But I made this to avoid the massive schools. I think what I would do is pull the school forward just a little bit, because my Sims probably still gonna be late. But other than that, I think it's really cool. I should have added like a basketball courtyard, but again, at this point in time, I was tired. I was done. I did not care. I really didn't. And then I saw that they had the senior decorations on the parking lot. I thought that was so cute. So we weren't allowed to do that at our school. We weren't allowed to pay for a spot and then paint it for the year, unfortunately. That really stunk. It's really, really sad because that was like the one thing that I wanted to do in high school. Granted, I didn't have a car. I still totally would have paid $5 to be able to paint a spot. I really, really wanted to so bad. But oh well. Um, I hope that my school allows that one day. Well, that school allows it one day because the school that I went to before it was right before COVID allowed it, and it was nice. It was nice to see seniors get so excited and to see them paint their personality. Like you'd see some people who just put a smiley face on it, or someone who put all this effort into it and touch it up throughout the year. Oh, it was nuts. It was nice. Um, that's just me. That school had a lot of things that I liked though. Like you could pay for your locker, which was $5, for the entire year, and you got your $5 back at the end of the year if you didn't damage the locker, lose the lock, get the lock replaced, broke the lock, anything like that. Any damage required to the locker. So then you get your $5 back, and either that or you just carried all your stuff in your book bag. They allowed book bags, and that was pre-COVID. Um, I went my whole high school year carrying my book bag. Because the school that I went to afterwards during COVID, they were like, well, you guys are gonna need to carry your book bag because there was this trend where you'd lick lockers. Disgusting. Um, I don't know what people were thinking. Gross. Anyway, so people were doing that, so they were like, well, keep your book bags on you. And then they tried to implement the locker rule. I think a year and a half later, they were like, well, you guys need to use your lockers. And us kids were like, no, absolutely not. We've gotten used to going with our book bags. And I did try and follow the rule for like the first half of the year because I'm a rule follower. I follow the rules as much as possible. I very much so in line. And I panic if I don't. Anyway, so they were telling us like no more book bags, nothing. No one listened to that. Because so I had a locker upstairs and my last class was on an outside building that I had to upstairs across the hall. So I'd have to go down, like across the hall, down the stairs, down, go through this area to get to my classroom. So I'd have to do that again and still catch my bus. And a lot of people brought up these concerns, like, well, can I bring my bag to like my last period class then? And they were like, no, no, you can't. So no one listened to it. They didn't really try and implement it. I'm pretty sure from what my younger sister said, they're trying to implement it again, but a lot of people are like, we've gone 4 years for this. does it really matter? Plus, there's construction all around the school. I don't think if there's enough lockers for everyone. And when they were going through the whole locker fiasco, my locker was assigned to two different people, me and one of my friends. And we just sat there because I walked up and went, "This is my locker." He went, "No, this is my locker." So we went to the school, and they were like, "Oh, well, you guys can share a locker." And I was like, "You can keep the locker, bye." I was, I was a very organized person, and he left his papers scattered and like would bunch them up and throw them. Oh shoot, we're getting to the end. Anyway, guys, thank you also so much for watching. Sorry about rambling and talking. Hope you guys like this build. It is just called like Copperdale High School in the Sims 4 gallery. So if you guys need to replace your school, it is underneath generic um in the gallery. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy simming, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.